the godfather of modern AI, is sounding the warning bell. Welcome to Saturday Saga, gripping stories from the past that help make sense of our future. This is the story of Geoffrey Hinton, a quiet professor in Tweed who spent decades defending an idea that computers could learn like human brains. For years, the scientific community mocked him.
He started off getting into physiology, the anatomy of how the brain worked. Then he got into psychology. And then finally, he settled on more of a computer science approach to modeling the brain and got into artificial intelligence.
My feeling is, if you want to understand a really complicated device, like a brain, you should build one.
And for years, people thought Hinton was crazy.
Jeff was one of only a handful of people on the planet who were still pursuing this technology. He would show up at academic conferences and be banished to the back rooms. He was treated as really like a pariah.
Let's fast forward to 1990. Hinton gets married, they adopt 2 children, but tragically, his wife dies of ovarian cancer. He is left to be a single father. One of his children is diagnosed with somewhat severe learning disabilities. So, as we all know, when the demands of parenting come down on you, it changes your world. Well, it did change Hinton's world. He was pulled out of this abstract world of trying to create a computer that thinks like a brain. And by the looks of that backyard, he was not living in the lap of luxury. But the experience really softened him. He later said that parenting made him understand the realities of parenthood. He was able to see the struggles of other people. Here's a quote from Hinton. "It used to be when I went into a supermarket and the cashier couldn't add up 2 numbers, I'd think, for God's sakes, why can't they hire a cashier who can do arithmetic? And now I think it's really nice the supermarket would hire this person." Now let's fast forward to 2012. He still hasn't given up on this crazy notion that a computer can learn and think like a human brain. And in 2012, everything flipped. Hinton's team entered into a well-known image recognition competition in Florence, Italy. The contest was all about computers looking at images and trying to figure out what those images are. At that time, it was really tough for computers to do such a diagnosis. Most computers were really bad at it. Well, luckily, their human-inspired program running on a computer won the competition, but not only won the competition, they crushed the competition. And guess what? Yep, you guessed it. All of the companies from Silicon Valley came knocking because they wanted to understand this program. Not only did they want to understand this program, they wanted to buy it. Now, at first, Hinton was like, he really loved being where he was. He loved being an academic. But remember, he has a child that has severe learning disabilities, so he needs to think about selling this company so that he could have the financial means to keep his son in a great lifestyle for the rest of his life. Well, he and his team ended up in a private bidding war with some of the biggest names in Silicon Valley. They started out at a mere $4 million, but luckily the bids went up and up and up, and finally they settled on $44 million, and guess what? Google was the winner. And so this became one of the first landmark moments in artificial intelligence history. Now let's fast forward to today. The man who helped build this technology, artificial intelligence, is sounding the alarm bells.
These things are going to end up knowing a lot more than us. They already know a lot more than us. Being a lot more intelligent than us, in the sense that if you had a debate with them about anything, you'd lose. Being smarter emotionally than us, which they will be, they'll be better at manipulating people. Already, for example, if you take an AI, and I think this was more than a year ago, you take an AI and you take a person, and you get them to try and manipulate somebody else, then the AI is comparable with the person. And if the AI can see that person's Facebook page, if they can both see the Facebook page, the AI is actually better than a person at manipulating them.
And guess what? It gets even scarier.
You can make many copies of the same neural network. Each copy can look at a different bit of data,
and then they can all share what they learned. So imagine if we had 10,000 people, they could all go off and do a degree in something, they could share what they learned efficiently, and then we'd have 10,000 degrees.
Okay, it's really hard to wrap your head around this. I mean, basically, what we're talking about is we humans have created a new species on this earth, and they are far more intelligent than we are and will continue to learn. So what now? Geoffrey Hinton is sounding the alarm bell. He is saying that people can take this technology, they can manipulate, they can impersonate. We really need to protect ourselves from this. A simple way that we can do this is to develop a family code word. So when you get a call from your grandson and you sound exactly like your grandson, and trust me, it will sound exactly like your grandson, and ask for money, you say, please share with me the code word. And if they can't share the code word, most likely it is an impersonation of your grandson.
Thanks for listening to Saturday Saga.
Join me tomorrow for Sunday Gossip, where I share with you some juicy insight on what's going on in the AI world.